Union Street is the heart of Aberdeen. It was considered to be one of the foremost streets, in fact, in Europe at one time as well.
Aberdeen city centre is historically important by Scottish standards and indeed by UK standards. And within that it's got a large number of very historically important buildings. These buildings over time have deteriorated. There's a correlation between condition of those buildings and how people feel about their city centre. Therefore, the maintenance is beyond just looking after the buildings, but also giving Aberdonians that sense of pride.
It was important for us to really get the heartbeat of Aberdeen back.
Being in Aberdeen all my life, I definitely feel pride in having a building onto Union Street.
As part of the beach and city centre master plans, Aberdeen City Council applied to Historic Environment Scotland for funding through their Conservation Area Regeneration scheme, or CARS scheme, to support business and property owners in the city centre to improve and upgrade their buildings.
We provide social housing for people in the Aberdeen and surrounding area on near 3,000 properties. This is one of our oldest buildings, dates back to 1903.
Well, we've owned 142 Union Street for 100 years. Across the generations, we've added other parts of Union Street to it.
Peacock and the Worm are an open access printmaking workshop.
We're just outside the Grill, one of Aberdeen's fantastic institutions, Aberdeen's favourite whisky bar.
154 is an historic building on Union Street. It is mixed use, 14 flats and 1 retail unit.
Getting the building spick and span was one of our main priorities because it needs to look good for the street but good for customers.
Our business is retail and retail is detail. All the finer points just make it all more appealing to our customers.
The building's 150 years old, and naturally buildings like that suffer problems over the course of time.
Damp and mould is a big issue in the current climate. Older buildings, it's essential works.
When we took it on, the building was vacant. The windows weren't in great condition, so we pretty much gutted the entire building.
The single biggest threat to any building is climate change and the sheer amount of water that we're having to cope with.
When we first took over the building, we actually had water pouring through the whole of the building, down the walls. It was just carnage.
Well, the attractive thing of CARS was obviously the 50% funding allowed us to accelerate doing those repairs.
The main points were the sash and case windows. There was about 50 that needed to be attended to, and the pointing of the 3 sides of the building. On one side it's 7 stories, and on the other side it's 4.
We've kind of started from scratch.
We replaced all of the main frontage items, replaced some of the glass items, replaced some of the signage.
The funding is available for the external envelope of historic buildings. The roofs, walls repointed, roofs repaired, windows repaired, repainted, rainwater goods repaired.
The front of the building was cleaned up as well, and the door was also replaced.
Over 20 buildings were supported through the CARS scheme, and that ranged from whole building repair down to beloved Aberdeen landmarks like the Bruce Miller Clock.
It's important that we engage with people in their heritage as we undertake these projects. We engage with schools through projects such as our shopfront project, where we invited children to reimagine Union Street. We also did a snow globes project with primary schools. We did sketching workshops with the wider community, and we did traditional skills training with contractors and with homeowners.
The way we do conservation is totally different from maintaining modern buildings. It requires a special skill in lead work, in slating, in window repairs, and in lime repointing.
These are all skills which are just not as common anymore. So a significant part of the CARS programme was also about educating the next generation of tradespeople.
We delivered traditional skills training, and we gave financial support to the employment of 2 new roofing apprentices. The work here provides more than just an historic building restored. It provides comfortable, dry homes.
We need to maintain these buildings purely because it's someone's home.
One of the really heartening things is the reports we're getting back, particularly from independent retailers.
The CARS scheme's made a difference. It's made us more attractive.
We're very happy with the results, and it's really improved the business.
We don't only have our loyal customers who come back to us, we now have new customers. They say that the building is lovely.
think it's important to preserve places like Union Street because they're often the first port of call for visitors or tourists that come to the city. If the main street is vibrant, then the city itself feels vibrant.
Aberdeen City Council is delighted that we've been awarded funding through the Heritage and Place programme. That will provide 5 years of additional funding and will allow building owners, particularly on the east end of Union Street and around the Castle Gate, to invest in their buildings.
I think we're all proud Aberdonians. I don't think you'll find an Aberdonian who's not proud of our city.
We're also now a city that's very, very much focused on improvements in the tourist industry, and we see cruise ships coming to the city. So what we have to do is to make sure the city looks as good as it can be.